Well, good morning, Forex traders. We will be starting here in about 9 minutes. In the meantime, sit back, relax, get ready, and we will today um, review the trade that we put on last Wednesday at FX Street. So today's broadcast is on YouTube. While you're getting ready, if you haven't already signed up to get information on all the broadcasts, this little video will help you get signed up, subscribe. It's no cost, so go ahead and make sure that you don't miss any of the trading sessions. Again, good morning to you, Forex traders. This is Nailing FX session, the Wednesday session. We'll begin the actual session here in about 5 minutes. In the meantime, if you have not signed up for the free scheduling, make sure you go to www.tradewithufos.com/OPA and fill out the information. It's free, no credit card required, and you will see the Nailing FX schedule. Today, our session is on YouTube. We alternate between YouTube and FX Street. Last session was on FX Street, and we will be reviewing the actual trade that we put on FX Street last Wednesday. Next Wednesday, we will be on FX Street again. And so make sure that you know how to log in and watch the live sessions. And if you can't see the live sessions, of course, you should be able to review the recorded versions. Okay, so in about 3 minutes, we will actually begin. So buckle up, get ready to go, and let's have a great Wednesday morning session. All right, we'll be starting in about 2 minutes. When we have the sessions on YouTube, we actually start at 10 a.m. My time here in Vietnam. When we are streaming for FX Street, we have a 5-minute sign-in period just after 10. So the live session actually starts at 10:05, giving you 5 minutes to sign in. Here we'll start the session at exactly 10 a.m. So if you're coming in a little bit later, you'll miss the intro part of the session. So know that there's a little bit of a time difference between FX Street sessions where the attendees can log in after 10 for about 5 minutes and through the session. But in YouTube, we have a 10-minute login session, a login time period before the session actually starts. A little bit different logistics. We'll be ready to go here in just about 1 minute. if I can find, here we go. We are live streaming from Bien Hoa City, Dong Nai Province in Vietnam, in the Pegasus Plaza downtown in Bien Hoa. As we do every Wednesday at 10 a.m., my local time here in Vietnam. It's about 4 a.m. in London, and it's 11 p.m. Tuesday night on the East Coast, New York, in the USA. This is Nailing FX, Spot Forex Trading Simplified. And my name is Bert Antonik, and you can always send me email information requests at fxopabert@gmail.com. Today's session is Wednesday, the 28th of October. And next Wednesday, I'll be streaming on FX Street at 10 a.m. on November 4th. That'll be our first session in November. All right. So here's the information that you can use to get all the background and sessions, the recorded sessions and trading tool information. You can simply go to Google and do a search for Nailing FX Opabert. Just put that into your Google, Nailing FX Opabert, and most of this information will come up for you. Plenty of information there. Our disclaimer: the following videos, clips, demonstrations are for educational and instructional purposes only. Tradedictive provides these videos purely for the purpose of demonstrating a method of using the product. Users understand that all the contents used in the videos is purely for demonstration purposes only and is not a guide and does not provide any indication or prediction of actual results. As a user, you understand and agree that hypothetical results obtained through the demonstration do not indicate in any way the results you may receive by using our products. All right, so in today's session, today we're going to review last week's trade. We put on a trade at the end of the session. That was the 21st of October trade. We'll go again and look at the 33 zebra channel, the 48 alert and confirm indicator, and the 6265 profile SET, along with correlating with trading view. And so we'll mostly today, I hope that we'll be doing mostly hunting for trades. So here is the trade that we set up last week. You can see here, this was the chart that we were looking at. It was a 15-minute chart, 15-minute chart. Normally, I like to trade on the 1 hour and daily, sometimes the 4 hour, but a lot of people saying, well, you know, I'm looking for trades and I want to trade and I'm not finding any trades because of the big time frame. You just have to be patient. Those big time frames, they pay off big, right? Okay. But so to please everyone, let's go ahead and see if we can't find some trades on the lower time frame. And I was looking at the 15-minute chart, and down below here you see it was an Aussie USD trade that we put on. It was a buy limit. What I was anticipating, you can see here, this was the period when this last candle here, red candle at the end of the chart, was when I put on the trade, and I was anticipating the price would come down before it would go up. So I wanted to see if I could get a little better entry. So I put in the limit buy at 0.70275, 725 being sort of a hard number there, and a take profit about 10 pips, a little bit more than 11 pips up, and we waited for the trade. Okay, so you can see here is the take profit line up above here. Here is the buy limit, and here is the stop loss. Okay, the stop loss was very tight on this, probably too tight, as you'll see. and we only had about a 4-pip stop loss for and about 11-pip gain, a little better than 2 to 1. So what happened shortly after the trade? Here you can see that trade again, setup. Here's the setup, and we correlated that. The reason I had these numbers is I correlated that with the trading view chart. You can see here I was looking for price to come down to this UFO unfilled order level right here, and then I put my stop below that. Okay. However, with these two unfilled order levels so close together, usually if they overlap, we count them as one, but these were kind of close together, and probably I should have, maybe shoulda, woulda, coulda, right? But I didn't. So that's the way I looked at it, and I saw that this was the unfilled orders up here at the sell, unfilled order sell UFO, and so that was the reason for the setup. So I see the auto phase indicator on TradingView are these arrows. You see these arrows? Those correlate with arrows on the alerts in the MT4. They correlate with the alert MT4. In MT4, the arrows don't stay on the chart. As new arrows come in, they adjust, and only when there's significant changes do they move away. Okay. So there's the setup. The correlation, and then not too long after, you see here, this was this red candle here. Okay, we anticipated that price would come down and take us in. It actually moved up. Okay, so you're seeing a 15-minute chart. Towards the end of this period, we got into that trade, and 51, 2, 3, 4 periods later, or maybe 5 periods later, so about an hour and a quarter. And so you can see here, the session ended at 11. So my local time, 11 o'clock, my local time was 12:23, a little bit after, and price had come down and taken us out. So that's why I said earlier, maybe our stop was too tight. You can see here the stop loss was hit, and we were taken out. I paid a commission of 70 cents on a mini trade, since I'm trading using the raw spreads from the broker, and the loss was about 4 pips, so 3.9 pips to make it $3.90. So there was a loss on that trade. Okay, so we had a loss on that trade, small loss. And here again, this is what happened. Here is where we had the stop loss set. Okay, we had the stop loss set here. This vertical yellow line, that's where we entered the trade. Okay, that's the trade entry, and that's the time. But remember, time on an MT4 chart is the server time of the broker, not your local time. It's the server time, and usually that server time is set up so that 000 time, midnight, falls at about 5 p.m. New York time. So you've got to understand the timing of the trades a little bit. So there was that buy limit. The buy limit, it was 1 mini on the Aussie USD. We put that in for price here, stop loss, take profit. And so what happened is price came down and took us in, right? Took us in here on this line, right here, took us in, then continued down and turned around down here. So if I had made this a 1-to-1 rather than trying to squeeze it as a 2-to-1 or better, my stop would have been down below here, down this level. And in hindsight always, everything is 20/20 hindsight. It probably looks like a better place for the stop since we had this huge speed candle here, this explosive candle moving up to this level here. So, all right, so what happened is price came down, took us out, went down a little further, and then turned around and went up. And here is the 11 pips that we would have hit had the stop not been so tight. So if you are a trader who is continuously being stopped out because your stops are too tight, because you're afraid to lose, okay? If you're afraid to lose, you'll never win, okay? If you are afraid to lose, you will never win. So you can't be afraid to lose. It's just a matter of the size of your position. You have to be willing and able to change your position size to be in concert with your risk tolerance. So if you're going to say that I can only risk 2% and that 2% turns out to be 10 pips or 20 pips, depending on your position size, the amount of money that you could lose. All right, so you have to know how to adjust your position size. And starting out with micros is not a bad deal. I mean, start out with a small live account, $500 live account, and only trade micros. And yes, you're not going to make a lot of money, but that's not the point. The point is that you will learn to trade. You will learn, you'll get experience. And as your experience and learning curve increases, then you can start to move up and maybe take mini trades. And now you're making $1 a pip on average. And then, once you really, it's going to take time. It's going to take time. But unless you're actually trading, you won't ever get ahead, right? And you need to get ahead. The whole reason for trading on a demo account, first of all, is not to learn how to trade. It's to learn how to use the demo account, how to navigate through that account very quickly and easily so that you can make changes and so that you can see the progressions. Then when you start trading with a live account, you'll get a different feel because emotionally it will change for you. All right. So let's continue to go on here. So, all right, let's go ahead now and go to some live accounts, see if we can't find some actual trading here. All right, so let's come down here and go to my live screen. This is live. We are looking at my market overview, or sometimes I have it listed as the majors. These are the majors. And again, just for you to understand, if you haven't heard me tell you, notice that I have 8 charts here. So I'm, able to view the majors very quickly and see if I have any potential trades. I like to do this first on an hourly. All right, first on an hourly. So let's go ahead and start here. But look at this, USD Swiss. Next one on the top, USD JPY, USD CAD, USD Singapore dollar. Now, I'm using the Singapore dollar simply because without having an 1/8 major here, the chart wouldn't look nice. It would be set up weird, okay? So I've got US in the base position across the top. Now down below here, I've got Euro US, Pound US, Aussie US, New Zealand, Kiwi US. You notice that the US is in the counter position, So now I can look at the chart and I can see very quickly overall what's happening with the US dollar. So let's go ahead and switch these to daily real quick, if I can. All right. It's been sitting for a while. There we go. And daily. And daily. And daily. There we go. Down here, daily. 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 Now I'm getting a little bit of lag here, simply because obviously I am streaming as well as, let's see if I can get this to be gone here, trend line. All right, I need to open this up. And all right, there we go. All right, so now the reason I set this up, as I said, US in the first position across the top, US in the counter position across the bottom. I can look at this very quickly and see what's the trend, current trend on a daily basis. Well, mostly this is down. The US dollar is down against the Swiss. US dollar is down against the yen. US dollar is down to sideways against the Canadian and down to sideways against the Singapore dollar. The US is down. Why is the US down? Because the euro is showing up. Remember, charts reflect the base currency. Charts reflect the base currency. So if the euro is rising here, that means overall that the dollar is down. So you can see that the dollar is basically showing some weakness. And that's probably getting into the election next week. The world is kind of watching to see what's going to happen, and there's some indecision in terms of what's going to happen with the US dollar, depending on who wins the election. All right, so normally we would look at this and we take a look here. Let's take a look and see what indicators are on here. I've got the spread, which is up here, tells me the spread, the 33 channel, and I've got my 62.65, but the only thing that I'm showing on the 62.65 is the SET arrows, and I'm only showing 2 of the profiles, okay? And I don't have any of the alerts on here, so let's go ahead and add the alert. That's the 48 zebra alert. Okay. And so there you can see we have alert arrows. Now, if I'm purely looking at a chart as a day trader, not a day trader, but looking at the daily chart and only looking for trades for a day chart, on a day chart, here's a trade that I would have probably been likely to enter. Why? Because I've got my dot, my channel dot, and simultaneously or shortly thereafter, I've got a alert arrow. Now, normally, under normal circumstances, before we were using the channel, we would wait for the confirmation. So I had a confirmation here. So all this information over a 2-day, 3-day period, I would have gotten this on one day, the next day have the confirmation, and the third day enter short and be looking for a move to the other side of the channel down here. So that could have been on our most basic approach about 100, maybe about a 200 pip move over the course of about 3 weeks, it looks like. Okay. Not a bad move, but you have to wait for those indications, right? You have to wait for those. So right now, the daily is showing that it might want to go up a little bit. So let's work backwards from here on. Now we're on the Swiss, and so let's go ahead and look at the 4-hour chart, and we'll get the update here in just a second. On the 4-hour chart, you can see that it's telling me that price is rising. Now I got an alert, but that alert is not shown, is not coming after immediately after or simultaneously with a channel dot. So we don't have a channel dot with this alert. So this alert, yeah, it means the price is going to pull back a little bit, and that's all it is. I'm not getting a strong signal to go short here. And again, looking at the two profile lines also are still indicating the blue over the red, indicating price will likely continue to move to the upside. Likely continue to move to the upside. All right. So that's the 4-hour. Let's look at the 1-hour. In the 1-hour now, what do I see in the 1-hour? In 1 hour, I had a several hours ago. Let's see, we're in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours ago. I had a channel dot along with an alert, which would have told me that it's probably safe to take a short position. However, looking at the channel, okay, the channel trend on the 1-hour is up. So yes, a short position might be called for, but with the channel rising, I wouldn't anticipate that any short position would go very deep. Okay, I wouldn't anticipate a very deep move on that. All right. So and I can see that my profile really hasn't turned over yet. However, it looks like it wants to go down. And so let's go ahead and take a look at the 30-minute, see what's happening on the 30-minute. Okay, here the 30-minute looks like it's already rolled over. Looks like it's rolled over. And let's go ahead and take a look at the 15-minute. Okay, now the 15-minute is giving me an up arrow here, and I've got a SET on the 15. And last time we showed you how to do the trending, how to set up the trend. So I'm going to go ahead and put a trend line here. All right. So there's a trend line that is indicating that price could continue to come down. Okay, price continue to come down. It's not happening up in here. Even on the 15, I'm still showing an upward move. So any move to the downside here would be suspect. I don't anticipate, or wouldn't normally anticipate, that it would go much further. So taking a trade at this point is probably not the best for the Swiss. Let's go ahead and go to the next chart. Now we're looking at, and again, what I've got here. All right. We're on the daily here. The daily, nothing is happening. Nothing is telling us that we have any long-term possibility on the daily chart. So let's go ahead and march down, looking at the 4-hour. Okay. The 4-hour has given me a SET setup. So let's mark the SET setup from this high to that high. And so it's telling me that price is going down. It's trading in the middle of the channel, of an up channel, saying price is going down. If it comes down and hits into the lower band of the channel, that's when I would start to be interested in taking this long and seeing price cross over the trend line and seeing the profile turn up. Okay, turn up. Okay. All right, so there's the 4-hour possibility. Let's look at the 1-hour. Keep marching down. The marching down, you can see here, let's see, 1 hour. 1 hour, we are actually down in the lower band. The 1 hour is dropping. I don't think I have, let's look at the indicators. I don't have the alert on here. So let's go ahead and add the alert. 48 zebra confirmation. Okay. All right. So here I have a green channel dot saying price has been oversold. Consider it oversold, right? Because I'm at an extreme in the 1 hour channel. It goes further, gives me an alert. So at the close of this candle, I might want to go long. I might want to go long, setting my stop down below here. However, even though that could be something to jump into, I'm seeing that price has still got some momentum to the downside based on the channel trend. Okay, so I would say this would be a potential trade to the long side, but I need to see price turn around there a little bit. So let's see whether price is actually turning around. I'm looking at now the 30-minute chart. Okay. And here we can see that price is starting to fluctuate up and down in this area below. Let's go ahead to the 15. Okay, the 15. Okay. All right, so the 15 is indicating that price wants to go up. However, we are still, remember this line here is still from the 4-hour chart, right? That's the line we put in on the 4-hour. Price is still wanting to go up slightly or down. It hasn't really moved to the upside yet. So I can go ahead and put on it changed? It changed. Okay. The period must have just, yes, the period just ended, and we have something different here. This is not showing me what I was looking at before here. So this was down. This is confirmed down here. You can see here now I have broken above here, and so at this point it might be possible to go ahead and take a long position. So let's go ahead and see what that would look like. If we come down here, I would have about a 12 to 15 pip stop. Price turning around here. And let's see, coming up to this level here. 15 pip stop with about a 25 pip target. Okay, so that's not unreasonable. That's not unreasonable. I think we're going to go ahead and look at this again. Let's now go ahead and see what might be happening on our trading view. Okay, so we're going to switch over to trading view, go to chart. So let's go ahead and switch these charts. Looking at the Euro USD, and open this up a little bit. All right, so we were looking at going long at this point on trading on the MT4 chart. And what do I see here? I see that there's still a lot of unfilled orders above here that could push this down, okay? That could push this down. And so I have unfilled order buy zone down in here, down in this area. So with this setup, this does not help me to determine what the best approach is going to be here. So let's go ahead and compare these. Let's see what happened here. Whoops. All right. So here we can see the two different setups. Price wanting to continue to come down strong on the 15. I'm going to make sure that this is a 15-minute chart. Yes, it is. There's a 15. So we are seeing by correlation here that both of these charts, okay, both of them are indicating that price really wants to go down. Let's take a look at the hourly again here. Hourly is also still indicating a down move. So if I'm going to take a trade, go back to the 15. If I'm going to take a trade on this, if I decide that I'd like to take a trade on this, I think that the best thing would be to put in a limit order at about 17, let's see, go up a little bit, trying to find a good hard number type of to correlate here as well. 1786. Where is 1786? It's about up here. So price could pull back up to this area, 1786, and then come down. Now, this blue dot here is indicating that the downward move down here, okay, this down here is the auto climate, okay, auto climate. And the climate basically is now indicating that the downward move is basically ended, and we're in the first period of a changeover, but we don't know what direction, because it's a small dot. Okay, it's a small dot. If this next period turns into a heavy, large blue dot like it did over here, then that's more of an indication that price is going to go up and go maybe into this zone where we would then watch for it to drop. And here the auto climate is giving us statistical information about how many periods. So right now it's saying that there are approximately 6 periods where price could be moving up, could move up. Okay, so all of that analysis put together basically tells us that now is not the time to try to squeeze in a trade, right? It's not the time, because there are conflicting parameters that, we want to get as much confirmation as possible. We want to get that confirmation as much as possible, so that we have the highest likelihood of getting into a good trade. So let's go ahead and move on and look for another trade here. So this is how we go through the process of looking for a trade. Okay, now if you are just going to be looking for daily trades, you'll be done on as far as the majors are concerned. Okay, but we're trying to see if we can't find something a little bit something to trade on a lower time frame. So here again, based on purely on the majors, all right, we don't have, and again I've got these, okay, we don't have anything that is telling us to take a trade. We might soon, at the end of today, see a possible trade to the long side. Let's take a look going down to the 4-hour. The daily trend is down. The 4-hour trend is also down. Let's add, need to add the 48 alert to this chart. Okay, so we've got the dot, we've got the alert here. So on the 4-hour chart, this is telling me go ahead and see if you can't go long. However, going long against the stream here, against the river, right? The river is flowing fairly strong to the downside here. So it'll be very difficult for me to go and fight against that. We also see here that my SET setup is giving me an indication. So I'm going to go ahead and put that in. so that on the next charts I know what's going on. So let's go now down to the 1 hour and see what the 1 hour is telling me. The 1 hour, again, I'm going to say, and I'm willing to bet that there was an alert at the end of this period, and now it's moved over here. Okay, and I can confirm that very easily by going to USJPY, I think that was. All right, yeah, you see here we had, but that was the 1 hour. Let's go down to the 1 hour. Okay, there it is. There they are. Okay, now this is saying that the downward move should last about 6 periods, right? 6 periods from here. It's in the second period. So there's more downward potential for this movement on the 1 hour chart, okay, down to this zone here. So I'd be interested in seeing when price moves into this 1 hour zone, whether or not it is going to give me a response to pull back up. All right. So here's what we see in the 1 hour. This is USJPY. This is USJPY. Here's what I'm seeing. Here's this little kind of doji right now. Down here with this doji right now. And you can see the profile. The profile is still very strong to the downside on the 1 hour. Okay. So let's go ahead and look at the 30-minute here. And I've got the same situation here, starting to turn around a little bit, and we'll go down to the 15-minute. And you can again see here was the dot here on the 15-minute. I would have expected that we would have gotten an arrow here, and now we have the arrow here, okay? And I can confirm that by changing this over here to the 15-minute, okay? And again, just like I said, here we got, now this is a lot of movement. Let's see, where is the buy? Is there a buy down here somewhere? No, there's no buy indicated in here. A lot of selling up above, and you can see we've got a lot of overlapping on the UFOs, a lot of UFO overlapping. And so with the overlapping, you need to kind of combine them. So this is a big cell area down in here. There's where it's got some space between. So a stop would be up in here. Doesn't look like there would be a lot of opportunity for us to take a trade in this particular pair. We'd have to wait again for the daily to come into the lower band and then make a decision on that. All right, so let's go ahead and look at the pound USD. Pound USD, again, I've got some of these from previous days looking at the charts. Nothing showing me here. Okay, let's add the alert so you can see. Now you notice that this is the alert confirmation combined. This indicator is customized for Fuzzy. I'm using Fuzzy's indicator, and it's an evaluation version, and it'll expire on the 18th. So it's still working here. All right, so here we can see that we got the dot, we got the alert, and what happened is this is common. If you're looking at a daily chart, here we have the dot. Here we got probably an alert here, and then got another alert here, and then price roll. So you can jump in. You need to have a stop loss that's at least as wide as the band, and sometimes a little bit wider than the band, okay? At least as wide as the band. So at this point here, let me go ahead and again, let's take a look at the US GBP or GBP US here and go to a daily chart. Okay, open this up. All right, so we are sitting in the middle. We're sitting at the top of a buy band. Price could come down to this area here, and just take a notice. Just look to the left of the UFO here. This is the UFO. Here's a little saucer, right? Just to the left, and you notice that we had a consolidation and then a blasting, quick rocket blasting move way up here. So that confirms that there's likely a lot of buy orders left down in here in this area, all the way down to where this had this major pivot. So putting in a limit buy order down in here with the stop below this level could be a good trade. However, now's not the time. Why is it not the time? Because my auto climate is still showing that the climate is to the upside, and my profile in here, the blue and the red, is still kind of, it's gone flat. It doesn't help me looking at that. Okay, so let's take a look at side by side. Here's daily, here's daily. You can see here, nothing is really happening on the pound US and the daily time frame. So let's see if we can find something. Go down to the 4 hour. Going down to the 4 hour here. Let's see, do we have 4 hour on the chart yet? I think we do. Again, we're still trading in the middle. We're still trading in the middle of the channel with a river that is flowing up more than it is coming down. So we have some things going on here. Nothing really indicating. We have here this SET from here, this close to this close, showing the price wanted to move up. Let's go ahead and put that in. That's the last SET that's valid. Okay, and so price did cross over and did move up on the 4 hour, but it's not continuing. It's not, and we have here, it looks like we might have, maybe that gap is filled, maybe not. There might still be an indication of price will come up. It's just a slight bit if it hasn't filled the gap in here, and then come down. Let's go ahead and look at the 1 hour. Okay, 1 hour. On the 1 hour, again, the last SET is indicating that price wants to go up some more, but it's crossed, wanting to come down. Look at almost perfectly parallel here. So let's go ahead and see what it says on the 30-minute. Okay, 30-minute, a little stronger, flat, coming flat across, and the 15. Okay, indicating to me now we have a new SET. You can put on the, all right. So here we can see kind of trading in a no man's land, almost a perfect 90-degree change here. So on the 15-minute chart, it looks like price still wants to come down, and our river, the trend of the channel is still kind of flat to slightly down. Let's take a look and see how this looks on the 15-minute here. Again, correlating, trying to make sure that we give ourselves the best possible opportunity to take a trade. All right, so I've got a sell zone, UFO unfilled orders up here. You can see again this significant move to the downside, leaving orders in this area. Down here, we can see again a significant move. Move this up a little bit here. Okay, you see if you look right across here, price blasted off. Okay, significant move to the upside. So, again, right now we're kind of in the middle of a move, coming up here slightly, going short. Looking at this, we got the auto climate. Auto climate is telling us that we're in the first period of a potential 5-period downward move. So this looks like it might be a good trade. Let's take a look here. Let's go back to this and see what we have here. This 4-hour was telling us we're up. The 15-minute is giving me a down. Let's go back and review this again. Still a little bit more up. Hourly, let's take a look at what this looks like in the big picture. Pretty much flat, and daily, not much. We're in the middle of a channel here, so it looks like that we might be able to take a trade down to this level. That would be about 100 pips to the downside. Let's go back to the 15-minute chart. Okay. If we get into here, we're looking at we're looking at 13 pips and 10 pips. There's about a 1-to-1 trade potential on this. This is still coming up a little bit. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to be looking for a flat. Let's see if I can find a flat on this. A flat is where I see significant open, high, lows, and close at one level. So I can see here, I've got this level coming across here. This looks like I've got this coming down a little bit lower here, a little better flat area right in here. All right, so here's what I'm going to do is I am going to go ahead and put in a sell limit at this level. Okay, so there's my sell limit. I'm going to go ahead and modify this, and stop loss has got to be above the sell limit, so I'm going to go ahead and zip that up. Come on, modify. Okay, and I'm going to move this stop loss now, if I can grab it. And I'm going to put it just to the other side of that down moving middle band. And so I've got about an 8 pip stop loss. And now I'm going to put a target, modify, and take profit target. You can see that I trade off the charts. Don't sit there with the pen and pencil and calculator and try to, you know. So here I'm going to pull this down and just go down into this level down in here. Okay. And so there's my 14 pip. A little better than a 1-to-1, close to a 2-to-1. That's the setup. Let's go ahead and I will document this setup, and we will take a look at its results next Wednesday. So we're just coming to the end of the session today. I've got a couple of minutes left. Let's just quickly jump over to the US Singapore dollar and take a look at what's happening there. I've got everything set up. Trading in the middle of the channel, nothing really. Sometimes the Singapore dollar is really good, really good. It follows the channel very well. And you can definitely make some pips on the Singapore. A lot of people just ignore it, don't know about it. If you've got the availability of the Singapore dollar, U.S. Singapore dollar currency pair, it's a good pair to as a major keep in mind. Now the other thing is that we only looked at the majors. Let's go ahead and look here. You can see that here I also have the crosses. So let's just quickly jump to the Aussie Crosses. And now this will be a 6 chart setup. Wait for that to come live. Okay, you can see here 6 chart setup so that I have only the Aussie pairs, excluding the major, the Aussie major one with the US. So these are the cross pairs. And I can quickly, again, on a daily basis, look and say, okay, look right here. That would have been a good trade. And it was 60 pips in the last few days. Okay, here, open this up real quick. Here we see that would have been a pretty nice trade. Aussie Swiss. Here we have another trade that could have given me some pips. Here again, coming down here, nice trade setup. Aussie New Zealand again. Here, this is at the end of the day today. This may be a good trade setup. At the end of the day today. So tomorrow there might be a good trade on the Aussie New Zealand in a longer term time frame. Remember, longer term, bigger stop loss. Okay. Quickly looking at the Euro Aussie again. Here we had a nice setup right there, coming in with a nice move to the downside. So you can see we took a trade to try to make 17 or was it 13, 14 pips with a lot of work. Looking at the dailies, you blow through those dailies. You can look at all 28 pairs in less than 3 minutes, 5 minutes at the most, and see quickly what's available, what's not available. Adjust your position sizes so that you stay within your risk tolerance and take those bigger trades. Sit back, relax, and let it work. That's it for today. I enjoyed being with you, and be sure to come and see what happens to today's trade next Wednesday when we will be streaming live on FX Street. Enjoy your week and good trading.